Hello. Okay, so I don't have intro music, so you've got to have to deal with my occasional nonsense. But what do we do today? Paint. That's what we do today. Alexa, turn on Dynamic Duo. So I did get around to priming stuff. I did say I was going to do a lot of priming. Priming. I got boards full of it over here. See? Lots and lots of primer. Green primer. I know, it didn't matter much. I don't really think it matters a lot, the primer you put underneath it, but I was going to be going with some browns and things that I think green will work fine for. If I really needed to play a lot of neutral colors, or I was going to go colors like blue or stuff, I'm thinking probably not as useful. But green works. I mean, it might give it a greenish hue, maybe, if you're even going that light of colors. But I went with green because I've been using my Vallejo primer, and it's the only one I have is green right now. It's very smooth. I really like the way the Vallejo primer goes on. So I've only sprayed one direction though. See, the top is gray. So I got to go back and I have to get out my Army Painter primer, or and I have gray and beige. So I'll probably do the gray one to do the tops down. So I still got to do that. Which is probably just try to cover the rest. Ultimately is what I'll probably be doing, just trying to get the rest of it in. But that said, those aren't fully done, but I did say I'd get some priming done, and I did. I got all those guys primed and sprayed. I still got a lot of minis here and a lot of minis there. All need priming. So yeah, I've got a ways to go yet, but we're getting there. Lots and lots of stuff. They all got to get onto bases so that they can be painted. That giant, unfortunately, is going to be too big for any case that I currently have, so it's going to have to go up on the mantle of giganticism. Giganticism, gigantousness, gigantinals. We're getting further and further away from anything that makes sense, but ultimately, yeah, that's the goal. I'm going to be doing, trying to get those up. So, anyway. I got lots of things around here that are in progress and not a lot of things that are done. I did watch a video today about how to do red metal, NMN red metal. I don't know, man. I still think, and as I said, hey, how do you do red metal? And I was like, the first thing the guy says is, oh, this is the holy grail of NMM. It's the hardest NMM to do. It's like, oh, well, fantastic. Fan-dang-tabulous. I don't know if I want to do the hardest version of NMM as my first choice of NMM. So I don't know. I really want to do it on his armor. But I don't know that I can do it, man. I've been watching video, and he uses 1,000 different colors. He uses a color he calls it's a Citadel color. It's something orange, and it basically looks like pink. It really does. I'll show you. I'm gonna go find the video. It was one I was watching earlier, so if I look closely, it'll probably just show up on my history. So I go, let's see here. Go to history, and we go video. Okay, lots of YouTube video. I was wrong. Master Mini, Counter Butter, Purple Magic. Chris Pine, Little Merch. There you go. Black Dungeons. How to use weapon difficulty. Come on, click. Mumble my way through. I did some image creator, created me some more images to work with. Yes, I know, all of you artists, I feel bad, sorry, but it's a lot cheaper to do an image creator, AI image creator. Sorry, I can't afford to pay you guys, man. Good, nice human work. I gotta give it to you though. AI is stupid when it comes to text. It spells everything wrong. You can give it the words. This is what it's supposed to say, but it's terrible, terrible, terrible. It only gets like 1 out of every like 5 or 6 tries will it spell my company name right. Let's see, you too. Boy, I got a lot of stuff I opened up earlier, so that makes today kind of hard. Channel. More. Critical Role. I think I'm getting close to when I actually got it. Going, oh, the Garmin stuff. That's amazing. I'm looking at all the stuff I opened today. This is just today. Some of these I opened up accidentally because I was like opening up in bulk and doing some stuff. I did a video earlier on how to use the various tab collection things for Edge, and that did a lot. And then when you go from link to link inside of something, you go deeper and deeper. Ah, there it is. How to paint red NM. So, this is the one. Okay, so, watch, I'm going to show you. So he's going to show you. Works really well all the time. So, watch this. Check out this list.
So as you can see, I have all my base coat of the red already applied, and it's a 50-50 mix of Abelson Scarlet and Mephisto Red. And now I'm going to sketch my first highlight. For this I'm going to use a Squid Orange, and I'm going to use a sort of liquid that works really well all the time. So, let's get cracking.
So there it is. You got Evil Sun Scarlet. Stop it! I paused you.
Abelson Scarlet and hello fellow headers of the blue, and welcome to my channel, and also welcome to a very special episode, because in this episode I will teach you how to paint red NMM. And if you know something about NMM, you know that red NMM is the holy grail of NMM, because it's by far the hardest one.
By far the hardest one, he says.
It works really well all the time. So let's get cracking.
Okay, so here you go. Evil Sun Scarlet, Corn Red, Mephisto Red, Wild Rider Red, Luganeth Orange, Blood Angels Red, Squid Orange, and Lamian Medium. Okay, so if I go here and then I'm going to go actually. So the problem is it was darkening the screen. I want to show you what these colors actually look like. The only color there that is even close to orange is Wild Rider Red. I don't know what the heck they think Luganeth Orange. There is nothing orange about that, or Squig Orange. There's no orange in those. What nonsense noodlehead. Okay, maybe I guess that Luganeth Orange could be like, I mean, yes, there's a yellow hue in that, I suppose, but it is like at best peach. It's like a peach color. And yeah, and the Squig Orange, what is that? It's like a, I don't even know, that almost looks like a brown orange. That's a weird color. But anyway, these are all the colors required by him, according to his thing, to make NMM red. Now, this guy has a fair amount of metal on him. He's got all his armor things around his shoulders, and he's got this whole armor thing on his back, and he's got oops, where am I? Okay, so he's got this armor around his back and all these things on his shoulders. It's not a significant amount, and it's all around his stomach here too. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And his, actually, I'm trying to determine maybe that thing around his belt, his waist, is not actually supposed to be metal. I'm thinking this under thing is metal. The top is metal. Is that thing around his waist supposed to be metal too? I mean, it almost looks like a belt of sorts. Then he's got his jacket underneath that, his big red jacket. It might just be a big black, like... No, he's got that thing to be his belt. Holding the plate on. I guess it could just be a plate over his plate? I don't know. It's got a... I don't know what that is. It's supposed to be a plate. I'm concerned. I don't know. How do you can't put plate over plate, can you? It's kind of a weird setup. So there you go. I'm not sure that NMM for this guy is in my future because he said it's the hardest NMM in the history of the world. Why does that keep doing that? Okay, I get it. People are saying happy camper days. What the heck? I don't know. Weird. Don't know why I'm getting all that, but all right. But we're gonna turn on Santa. We're gonna do something on Santa here. I could just work on his beard a little bit while I be a chicken and not do the NMM yet. Wait. Is my LED dying? It don't feel very bright. Well, that's definitely brighter. That's a whole lot brighter, almost to the point where you're getting a lot of shadows, but sorry. Actually, I should probably just flip this around because those are going to I'm going to hit those anyway. And we'll bring this over here so it's not quite so... Wait. Trying to determine how I want to do the back. I should probably put a little bit more red on. Red NMM. Do I have it in me, man? He's got some interesting boots, I'll say that. Their design is definitely unusual. I should probably put some... Alright, let's just do a couple things that are, well, necessary but not in the way. So while I'm thinking, I'm at least putting paint down on him, right? Can't let my brain be the holdup. I mean, I can, but... I'm going to put a couple dots in his eyes. Let's start off easy. Well, okay. As easy as putting dots in eyes can be. I'm going to start there. His eyes really are pretty tiny. And then we will First things first, then I can do some face, you know? Yeah. Yeah, let's get some flesh color. Santa's kind of a pale dude, ain't he? I mean, he lives up in the North Pole. How much sun can he possibly get? I mean, he's got to be kind of lacking from sunlight. Not to mention, he covers up a lot. I mean, yeah, you know, sun can burn your face too. But yeah, I'm still thinking he's a pretty pale dude. So let's go with a fairly pale color. We'll go with like a flat flesh. Oh, that is a really flat flesh. Wonder if I should do like a, should I do a contrast paint for his skin? That does kind of work sometimes if it's a decent contrast paint. Like a barbarian flesh or crusader skin. That's pretty light. It's a reddish brown. Crusader skin, if you think about it, is pretty close to reddish brown. I guess I don't really have any good flesh shades. I got some weird greens. Shamrock green. Barbarian flesh, but that's an airbrush paint. That's not quite the same thing. What's this? Pallid bone. I know, I'm in the camera's way. I apologize. Gotta reach over to my paint, see what I got. Desolate brown. See, I'm not seeing a lot of options. Like a barbarian flesh, which is more flesh-like. Maybe I'll mix it with the crusader skin to give it a light color, and it's airbrush, so it might not have too bad of an effect. Yeah, that's the best plan. A little mixing that. It's just for the face. I should bring the sword over here, though. I have primed his sword. Oops, it's not a sword. Well, I mean, that's the axe that goes to him. Got the sword here, but it's just his hand. I don't know what all I'm going to paint on there yet. If I'm going to do NMM on that. I have an idea. I'm actually going to paint this water stuff like a metallic blue. Metallic. I actually want the sparkly look, not NMM-y. I want it to look kind of like sparkly, and I think a metallic like blue would work. Because I don't know, feels like the kind of magic Santa would have, kind of a blue starry magic, Christmas magic, you know. It'd be cool if I could do it with like some threads of red in it. It's like blue and red. That's a thought. Then I have his shield. It looks like it's mostly wood on the inside, so obviously that's not going to be metallic. I'm going to have it just be wood. So I could probably paint that some. But he's got his gloves on here, which have got to be red. So there's a little bit I can do on the shield at least. So we got a couple things. A couple things I can do while I'm procrastinating on the NMM part of it. Until I commit to something. And the rope goes all the way through his hand. which is good for aesthetics, but also means I have to be careful. I have to be more precise in my painting too. Wait, does Santa wear red gloves? Oh, now that I think about it, he wears black gloves, doesn't he? Santa wears black gloves along with black boots. Oh, darn it, Ken. Guess I'll be painting black over my red. Well, this part goes red because this is the sleeve of his jacket. But the gloves, Darren Narbit, gonna have to be changed color. It's alright. Not a big deal. Then I got the rope. So I've been watching a show called Endeavour. It's one of those British detective shows. It's pretty good. But if you've watched it, alright, if you've watched it into the 5th season, which is where we're at, you probably at this point realize the main guy is just, I mean, actually everybody in the show really has some pretty bad luck in their home life. Their home lives are pretty messed up. You're like, man, guys, anybody on this show actually have a good life going for them? Things aren't great for those people. It's like some of you people have to gotta like speak up, act, do something, man. Now he combined surprisingly enough, I'm using red here. The character, the guy who did NMM, red NMM, he actually used Evil Sun's red, same one I'm using right here, which is a very nice red. I'm gonna say, if I have to give credit to this to Citadel, they made a nice red. It's got a nice pigment. It's a very nice bright red. It's got a good coating. I like it. Just basically trying to, I don't know, give it a little bit more of the red. Now this is his jacket, so his jacket's only going to be red. It's not going to be NMM, even when I do finally commit to whatever metallic I'm using, be it NMM or whatever other nonsense I go with, even be it just a metallic paint. But I feel like I'm copping out if I don't. But at the same time, I also don't know that I can do it right. And if I don't do it right, I mean, I guess ultimately I can always cover it, right? I can always say, screw it, this ain't working. I'm going with metallic, and then just paint over it with a metallic red. Now I do have metallic reds. Actually, what I have is a couple things. I have some of the Vallejo's color shifters, which some of them are kind of red. But I also have a medium, a metallic medium, that you can just add to pretty much any color you want, and it makes it metallic. I mean, it does a pretty good job of it too. Gives it that sparkly look, you know. But yeah, I want his. jacket to look pretty consistent. And I'll probably still do some highlights with it, like do the same kind of thing with the metal, except I won't put the stuff that highlights it too bright because I don't want his jacket to look metal. I just want it to have some shadows and shades, and so I'll probably use similar shadows and shades on his jacket. I don't know how that'll stand out. It'll be interesting to see if I can make a metal looking coat, or a metal looking armor with a red coat, because I'm going to have him wearing a red coat. And that's kind of where I'm wondering if I should just go metallic, because I might want it to go a little bit more red, like a metal bronze, like a scorched metal color, which I do like my scorched metal. Add a little bit more red to it, just give it that shine. But yeah, it'll allow it to contrast just a bit more to the color I'm putting on his coat, so it's not like just the same thing, but besides, Santa, man, I got to put a little effort into Santa. And not like I'm going to paint a lot of Santas in my time. Don't expect Santa's going to be like a #1 paint thing going on every year, painting Santa. No, I probably won't do that. Interestingly enough, there aren't that many miniatures Santa that you can find, even on Etsy and whatever else, that you can find that are paintable. You can, miniature ones. And the ones you do find, they're all fighting, or they're all kind of, they're like elves or dwarves, and they're all kind of mean looking. Even this one's kind of a tough guy, only because I have a story that works with that, but he can't just be, there's no ho-ho jolly version. At least I haven't really found one. Maybe Reaper's got some that are kind of ho-ho jolly, I guess, but they're kind of, I'm not that impressed with the Santas that Reaper has. Sorry, Reaper, you guys don't seem to make just a good, happy, jolly Santa. All right, so I've kind of finished that. Let's go ahead and put a little bit more on his the wrist of his jacket here. All right, let's go ahead and get some wood. What color wood would Santa be having on his shield? I think we'll go with something dark, because I think the reindeer on the front is going to be a light brown, so I should probably go dark brown. So we'll take it to... We'll do something kind of light, and then I'll put something kind of like a mahogany. Nice mahogany shield. Feels like a good color for a shield. It'll probably have to be like a silver border on it too. Gotta have silver. Something, his wood shield's got to be held together with some solid color. Either silver or like a steel color, So the borders aren't going to be painted brown at all. Unless, of course, I just miss. And that is a possibility. Alright, this is a base. I'll try to do a little bit of highlighting on there to get it to be a little bit more woodsy looking. Woodly looking. Could do a dry brush. Maybe I'll just highlight it with something lighter. It's not that hard. It's got pretty good detail. Not too worried about getting it on the glove, seeing as I painted the glove the wrong color anyway. Okay, we'll flip it over. Now this will be a little bit more tricky because this one, I don't want to get it all over where the deer head is. Yes, probably going to get the deer head, but hopefully not too bad. This deer's got a beard, Santa beard. I was thinking about having it be like a brown, like a regular reindeer, and then blend the tip all the way up to a red nose. You know, like it would look like if a red-nosed reindeer actually existed in nature. It wouldn't just be this bright ball on his nose. Yes, it has to be pretty bright, but I mean, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to look unnatural. Like maybe he just got this. It'd be kind of cool if I could figure out how to make it even have a glowy effect. Maybe put some fluorescent on the end. Probably shouldn't be a wood thing though, huh? Because a wood reindeer would be kind of poor. It would be a poor design for a shield. Because if they hit it, won't it just, break it to pieces? It's like some kind of hair attached. I don't know how that got there, but it did. Yep, good thing I'm doing this part first, because there'd be no easily getting around all those horns. The horns are too far everywhere. And therefore, I need to make sure I get all this. Now, eventually I might be able to go over it with some kind of a wash or something to get in the shadows. But for now, I don't think my primer is fully dry. It's still kind of sticky, even though I did it like 6 hours ago. It's kind of weird how sometimes people do reviews on stuff, and then they're like, they do a review again later and say, We were wrong. I know we said it was fantastic, but ultimately, not so much. Now that we've actually, used it. And it kind of happened to Reaper with Squidmar. They did a review a couple years back, or a year ago, I don't know. It wasn't that long ago, I guess. But they did a review where they went through all the paint brands. Big old contest where they tested everything, but they only gave everything, a couple hours of work. Every paint brand only got so much chances. And then there's what they've actually have their own biases, I guess, that probably went in with it. But ultimately, when they try a paint for the first time or whatever, they would be like, oh, wow, that's a really good paint. And then, so Reaper kind of got a really high rank. They did really good because their bottles, paint's kind of cheaper. And they're like, wow, this is really good. And then a year later, they go, well, okay. A year later, we're like, probably not so good. Which is unfortunate, because Reaper sent them all of their paint line as a thank you, a reward, or just, hey, thanks for reviewing us. And then they actually started using them and go, the problem is, I think their biggest complaint was that it's not consistent. But, to some extent, every paint line suffers from some amount of inconsistency. Vallejo, I like Vallejo. I like their paints. They run pretty smooth. They have good stayability. They don't dry overly fast. But ultimately, I do find that even they've got some issues with some paints. Like I hate their white. Their white is the worst. I'm using their white now, but I'm talking about their white base paint. I'm using an ink of theirs that's been working out pretty good, so I do like that. But their normal color. You know what? I wonder if I should pop that hole. I don't think that's supposed to be there. It's clear. I'm thinking about popping that diamond. Drill it out. I just don't feel like it should be there. Make it nice and clear. But anyway, okay, so I've got the mahogany brown on there. So what I was thinking is maybe I do some kind of a black metal for the horns, metallic. It's not anything else. I can't do Andaman black. And then maybe some kind of a silver, and then move it up to a reddish maybe blend the black into a bright red on his nose. But only because I don't think you can do a brown metal. I don't think brown metal works. At least, I don't think it does. I'm sure there's some painter out there that'll tell you, oh, sure you can. You can do brown metal, no problem. I'd be like, whatever, dude. You're just a show off. All right, so what's interesting is I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Krampus's head. That's what that is. It's got the horns and some kind of a fiend, which is kind of morbid, really. I mean, it does. I don't know. Santa don't strike me as the kind of guy that'd be walking around with somebody's head, even if it is his arch enemy. But it is big. It's supposed to be pretty big. Even though the Krampus head on my big Krampus that I'm going to be painting is only this big and the head's only like that big, a fraction of this size. I don't think it'd be this big if I let him stay at the same size. It's a small head. It's designed to be like the body's huge, but the head is small. It's just the way it is. Okay, well, let's see. I'm stalled a little bit there. I'm running out of stall tactics. Running out of stalling, and I don't know if I can stall much longer. I'm going to go Holy White, which is just a light gray with a little contrast paintiness to it. It's really almost just gray. I'm gonna put this on some of the white trim. Again, I'm just buying time until I can commit to the NMM. I don't think I have time to commit to NMM right now. Anyway, I didn't give myself enough time for that nonsense. That's work. I'm not ready to. Now his beard probably should have a fair amount of white. Santa's beard is pretty white, right? I mean, yeah, I know in the movies the real Santa always has more of a gray natural beard, but I don't know. Does the real Santa, not the movie Santa, the real Santa, does he have a natural white? What color is the real Santa's beard? I'd ask him, but he's pretty busy this time of year. Probably not taking phone calls from most parents right now. It's like, too late, man. If you haven't put your order in now, it's probably not going to get done. Got too much going on, man. We've already planned out our order. We make toys at the current rate, at the rate that's most efficient. You're probably going, what are you talking about? There's no Santa. Santa's not real. And all I have to say is, well, I guess you just don't like gifts from Santa. I like gifts from Santa, so I don't talk nonsense. It's like, you know what? The kids that discover that Santa's not real are not the smart kids. Those are the less smart kids. The smart kids are the ones who never discover Santa's not real. It never even occurs to them. They never voice the thought. They're the smart kids. I'm telling you right now, you gotta be one of the dumb kids that think Santa's not real. Because as soon as you do that, you cut your presents in half. The smart kids know better. They're like, yeah, I don't know what your problem is, dude, but parents whose kids discover that Santa's not real are like, oh, thank you. Yep, you're right, son. You are so right. And then next year, kid's like, I feel like I didn't get as many presents this year. What? Same number of presents you always get from your parents. But if I know my parents are Santa, shouldn't I get those presents too? All I have to say, son, is parents only get you what they get you. Santa is not your parents. But you said... No, you said. You said. We never said anything, but you said I was right. Nope. I just went along with it. That's what you believe. That's what you believe. I think I want to go back to believing in Santa. Sorry, no more. Not an option. You gave that up. That went right out the window. Definitely have a lot of fixage to do. Got a lot of red on his. You got your red paint in my white area. Yeah, I most certainly did. It's kind of interesting though when you get these prints, these minis, and you're looking at them, and you're like, how does that? Some certain parts they just get. You're thinking about the functionality of a printer, and it's like, what is it doing? What happens when something goes like wonky and it goes flat? Did it move? what was the what was the failing point that made something that's supposed to be round come out flat? Did it just stop printing in that spot? Did it lose track of its position? What? Was it the resolution you printed out? Maybe it's a color thing? No. I mean, you can print in different color resin, but I don't think that's going to be anything. Some resins are more durable. I like that they've been coming out with resins that are more flexible. So now they don't have to. You're less likely to get if you drop it, it ain't gonna break. So, because so many minis now are just fragile as heck, and having a ultimately, like I said, I probably will go over some of this with highlights that bring up. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's not white. It's like dirty white, which might not be so bad for the trim. I mean, Santa's working. Maybe the trim got a little dirty. Yeah, it needs more white. It'll have to be more white than that. As much as I don't mind the gray a little bit, but it might be a bit much. But if I get a little overrun that just goes to the edge, and then I can do the darker trims later, it'll clean up a lot of those edges. I'm trying not to get any, of course, but When you don't have a run over to clean up, it's even better. But a little bit could hurt. Or won't hurt. Hey, if you happen to be in Western Washington this weekend, all day gaming. Multi Christian Assembly. Come on down, play some board games. It's all day gaming, like board games, not video games. Though, I mean, you can stay home and play all day video games too if you choose. But that's just saying, if you want to play some board games with a bunch of pretty cool people, you're welcome to join us. And since it's all day, we're going to have food and maybe breakfast. 9 o'clock, we'll probably do, I don't know, eggs and maybe some potatoes and bacon. We're getting there. Probably need another coat. I'm probably out of time. And once again, my time has come to an end. Because, well, when I only paint for a little bit each night, it's hard to keep up. Hard to get the stuff done. But if I can just do a little bit each night, that's the way you do it with painting, man. Because it's easy to have too much to do and go, oh, no, I'm not doing it. I don't know where to start. Just do something. 30 minutes a day. Every little bit is progress, right? Every little bit is progress. Oops, I didn't do any of his hair. Oh, is that hair? Oh, that's hair. That's not his, it's not his cap. I thought his cap had a, I mean, I guess it could have a white trim on it. But it looks better. I mean, it's like dirty white, but it's white now for instead of having all that red crap all over it. It looks more consistent. But he is definitely starting to get to the point of Santa-esqueness. He's got the red and a little bit of the white. Still haven't done any MMM or put black on his boots or anything, but, you know, bit by bit. Got to figure out how to do the metal part. And then I have to decide how I'm going to do this deer. I'm thinking like a black on the horns. And then I was thinking like just do brown. I don't know. How do you do a metal brown? Metallic brown. Is that a thing? Can I add this metallic to a brown and will it look metallic? Will it look metal? Or will it just look like sparkly brown? I don't know what it'll do. NMM brown. Does that exist? It's 9:30. Oh, let's do a quick search. Let's see if NMM brown is a color. People amaze me on what they're able to do, though. I mean, there are some pretty impressive, skilled people out there. Oops. Let's go here. And then we'll go here. Close and go NMM brown. Let's see what they say for NMM brown. MMM gold. How to paint NMM. Non-metallic mini. NMM color. I think I could maybe do like a bronze. An MMM bronze would be kind of like, I guess the face of him could have a bronze look. And if I can mix a little brown in with it, not MMM, but just gold. I could use a bronze color, put a little brown in, add a little metallic just to the paint, so that it that doesn't get too washed down by the brown. NMM brown miniature. Everybody's got a solution, but dang gummit. I've never, ever, 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 ever done NMM of any kind. So whatever I do, it'll be a first. Hmm. But yeah, I'm thinking about going with just like a bronze and mixing it with some brown. Gold kind of has a green in it, but if I mix it with a little bit of brown, maybe even do that. I have a hoplite gold, which is kind of a greenish gold. But if I throw in a little bit of brown with that, and then like a brown airbrush color, and then throw some metallic in there to make sure it stays metallic, and then try to do that on the face of this guy. All that for just a tiny part of it, because the horns will be kind of a black, I think. That's the plan anyway. All right, well, I guess that's it. I can't do anymore. If I keep going, if I pick up the brush anymore, I will not go to bed on time. Actually, I'm already not, because it's past 9:30, but I mean, I'll end up going to bed at 10. I'll be really tired again tomorrow. I did today's workout. Was kind of, well, I got through it. In fact, I did it really good. I got all the way through today's Cali workout. I didn't record it today. I should have, but I just wanted to see if I can get through it at the pace it said. So every 2 minutes, I did the exchange. I did less than 3 minutes between the transitions. I still feel like it was a little light, to be honest. It was only 3 sets. I'd have rather it be 4. I feel like one more set would have made me feel a little bit more. I mean, I was tired. Everyone was rough. The third one was always hard. But I feel like a fourth one would have been better. Would have got me to those, just a little bit more to the effort level. I feel like there was more to be had in my exertion levels. I did run 5 miles on the treadmill. So, I got a little something in there. I have to run, well, I don't have to, but I have a 13-mile run on Thanksgiving, assuming the weather's not terrible. And anything above 30's bearable, as long as it's not raining. Anything above 40-some, I could probably go around in the rain, but I don't want to. Alexa, what's the forecast for Thanksgiving?
On Thursday, November 23rd in Bothell, there will be lots of clouds, with a high of 47 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 30 degrees.
Low of 30. Well, hopefully it'll at least be close to 40 by the time I head out. I can maybe go run. I don't know. I was going to just do a big loop, a big 13-mile loop. But if I do that, I can't take a coat. So sometimes what I like to do is take a coat out for the first 2 or 3 miles and then come back, drop off my coat, and just keep going. And that would allow me to maximize my, get warm before I have to take off my jacket. Because if you're in the upper 30s or 40s, you don't need a jacket after a couple of miles. Now, mind you, I have not run 13 miles probably in 2 months. So it's going to be interesting. But I'm sure I'll make it. All right, well, it's enough chit-chat for today. If you check this out, hey, go check out the X Case and Mage Cage on under Active Minds Games on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Lots of cool videos, lots of cool pictures of how they work, how they function, all the cool stuff you can do with them. And then if this is something you'd like to get for your paints or for your miniatures that you want to display on the wall or take with you to game stores, we got magnets and flex iron and mage cages all still available. The X cases, the clear ones, unfortunately we don't have those right now, but that's part of our next Kickstarter. So follow us on Facebook. We're using the numbers of the people who follow us on Facebook to determine, hey, when's a good time to launch? We've got enough people here that are interested. We're shooting for 800. We're in the 400s. I think like upper 400s. But if you follow us, help us get to those numbers. Tell your friends who might want some as well. Go follow us on Facebook. Active Minds Games is that name. And then once we get 800, I will announce the Kickstarter probably within a month or two of that. And we will start that race to production. And hopefully we can get those into people's hands. But until then, you take it easy and have a good evening.